Have you ever noticed how memories become softer with time? Even painful ones? Old songs suddenly feel sacred. Certain places begin haunting you. You remember the conversations differently, and somehow the past starts to feel warmer than the present. I think a lot of people secretly live in yesterday, not physically, emotionally. Welcome back to the Midnight Perspective. Tonight, I want to talk about why we romanticize the past. Memory is strange because memory is not perfect documentation, it's emotional interpretation, and I think human beings naturally attach emotion to moments. That's why certain songs can instantly transport you somewhere. One melody, and suddenly you're 17 again. You remember the weather, the drive home, the person sitting beside you. I think memory works almost like photography. A photograph freezes a moment, but memory freezes emotion. And honestly, I think people romanticize the past because memory removes certain details while preserving emotional atmosphere. We remember how things felt more than how things actually were. That's why nostalgia can become dangerous, because sometimes we miss feelings more than reality. I think people revisit the past emotionally because the present feels uncertain. The past cannot surprise you anymore. The pain already happened, the heartbreak already happened, the outcome is already known. And strangely, certainty can feel more comforting. Even painful certainty. I think many people cling to old versions of life because they're grieving stability. Old friendships, old relationships, old dreams, old versions of themselves. Sometimes you don't even miss a person. You miss who you were when they existed in your life. That realization hurts because eventually you understand that time doesn't just take people, it takes identities. There are versions of ourselves that only existed in certain seasons, and once those seasons end, those versions disappear too. I think many adults secretly miss childhood. Not because childhood was perfect, but because life once felt simpler emotionally. Before bills, before heartbreak, before constant anxiety about the future. As children, small things felt magical. Rainstorms, Christmas lights, late night drives, summer evenings, video games with friends, and somewhere along the way, many people lost their sense of wonder. Modern adulthood often feels rushed. People stop noticing sunsets, stop noticing silence, stop noticing beauty. Everything becomes productivity. And honestly, I think people aren't necessarily missing the past itself, they're missing emotional aliveness. The ability to feel present. The ability to experience life without constant mental exhaustion. I think that's why nostalgia hits hardest during difficult seasons, because the mind searches for emotional shelter. Music and photography are deeply connected to nostalgia because both preserve moments. A photograph says this existed. A song says this was felt. I think artists understand nostalgia deeply because artists spend their lives trying to preserve fleeting emotions, a melody, a mood, a memory. That's why old photographs can hurt sometimes, because photographs quietly remind us that time keeps moving. People age, relationships change, cities change, life changes, and honestly, I think humans struggle with impermanence. We want moments to last forever, but life keeps unfolding anyway. I also think nostalgia can quietly trap people, because sometimes people become emotionally attached to former versions of life. And when that happens, the present begins feeling emotionally empty. People compare today to idolized memories. And honestly, no present moment can compete with a memory polished by emotion, especially after loneliness or heartbreak. I think some people spend years emotionally waiting for life to feel the way it once did. But life doesn't move backwards. And maybe healing requires accepting that not every beautiful chapter returns. Some moments only exist once. And painful as that is, there's also something beautiful about it. Because impermanence gives moments value. If everything lasted forever, nothing would feel sacred. Faith changed the way I think about time. Because for a long time, I feared losing things, people, moments, dreams. But eventually I realized life itself is temporary. And maybe part of maturity is learning how to appreciate things without trying to possess them forever. I think God allows seasons for reasons we don't always understand immediately. Some people enter our lives briefly, but still shape us permanently. Some experiences only last moments, but change our entire perspective. And maybe memories aren't meant to imprison us. Maybe they're meant to remind us that we're still alive, that we loved, that we felt deeply, that certain moments mattered. I don't think healing means forgetting the past. I think healing means learning to appreciate memories without needing to live inside them. Maybe the present feels empty sometimes because we aren't fully inside it. Our minds stay trapped in old memories, are anxious about the future, but life is happening now, tonight, this moment, this breath. I think peace begins when we stop asking life to recreate old feelings and start allowing new moments to matter. There's still beauty ahead, still people to meet, still sunsets to witness, still music that will move you, still conversations that will change you, and maybe the future contains versions of happiness we cannot currently imagine. Thank you for spending the night with me. If you've been carrying old memories heavily lately, I hope this episode reminded you that your life is not over just because certain chapters ended. This is the Midnight Perspective, and sometimes the most beautiful moments in life are still waiting ahead of us.